like I say, we will finish with this dessert wine, if you will, on today's program. This is Bret Stephens, who is
washing down a little bedbug.
So agitated at the idea that we would malign billionaires, or really the existence of billionaires. I mean, look, is there any other class of people that are so sensitive to being addressed as a function of their wealth? And I should note that these people really do live in a completely different world than we do.
I think people, there's a failure of imagination of just how much more $1 billion is than $1 million.
I will tell you something. I have a buddy who worked for a billionaire as like one of his lieutenants for a couple of years. And we went and had lunch, and he says, look, I know your opinion of billionaires, and I know how completely effed up you think the system is and how much they get away with and this and that. And I will tell you, it is much worse than you think. And, you know, he had said this to me after he left the employees, like, I couldn't even handle it. He's like, it was nuts, the power they wield. Like, they don't go through, like, there's no such thing as customs if you're a billionaire,
right.
Which these are small, like, mechanical things. But it's like, you see something at a university that you read about that you have a problem with, get on the phone, you yell at the president of the university, you hang up, and then it all changes. I mean, this is, he said, like, it's nuts.
Well, they did work 1 billion times harder than everybody else,
There you
so
go.
they
Exactly.
deserve it.
And it has nothing to do, 10 seconds, even if that is in a positive direction, it is just a structural threat to democracy.
Without a doubt.
Irrelevant. The function's the problem, not the personality.
We need to be able to separate money from politics, and not just like in terms of like we have gone from a plutonomy to a plutocracy, wherein by nature of the amount of money they have the ability to fundamentally alter public policy, like we saw with Gates in education, like we see across the board in a whole host of things that are far less obvious and transparent, or even semi-transparent. But here is Bret Stephens. He's really annoyed by Anand Giridharadas' critique of billionaires.
This whole line, like, plutes are going to plute, like, that's just the same sort of categorization of people I think that Donald Trump engages in. There's a world of difference between not only a Bloomberg and a Trump, but also, you know, among these people, like what their ideas are. Don't you want a Democrat who represents like middle-class interests, which rather than just like soak the rich, they're all bad, they're against us?
Pause it for 1 second. Like, this idea that the problem with Trump is he categorizes people, right? That's what he's saying. To say that plutocrats are gonna plutocrat, it's categorizing people, and that's just like Trump.
Well, he's making a false equivalency to when Trump calls Mexicans rapists.
Exactly. It's a slightly different. It's
So
slightly
what do you
different
mean,
thing.
protect the middle class by helping billionaires? What are you talking about?
You know what? When you say plutes are going to plute, you're using words. Guess who else uses words? Donald Trump.
And not just words, names.
Names. Yeah, plutes. Why can't you call them by their full names? Plutocrats. Good.
And have a kind of a spirit of class warfare in the Democratic Party?
A couple things. First of all, you don't need to tell me this is America. I'm from America, so I understand, and there's different values at stake in America, and we can all claim different values. The values I'm talking about are also American. Second of all, when you have someone like Mike Bloomberg, I agree with you that he's very different from Donald Trump. I agree with you there's a difference in starting your own business and inheriting money. But the argument that I have made in this book, and that I'm happy to send you a copy because you sound you sound pre, not post, is that even if you have given a bunch away, you have benefited from a system over the last 30, 40 years in this country. If you look at the data on the capture by the 1% to 0.1%, it's simply too much. If you look at the 0.1%, holding now more wealth than the bottom 80% of Americans. The 1% getting 49% of new income. The data you know and that you and I both know. That the issue is, unless you are showing as a very wealthy person that you are breaking down that system, you are, in a sense, complicit in that system. And Michael Bloomberg has shown zero appetite, I'll let you finish, to fundamentally alter that system. And so to say that's America, my America is not an America in which most people who work 40 hours a week at the bottom half of the country do not anymore feel like they can move ahead, get education, get health care. That's not my America. My America is not a country in which, you know, the 400 wealthiest families pay a lower effective tax rate than any other social class in this country. So we can talk about what America is, but the way America is actually working for a lot of people who never get to be at this table right now is that it doesn't actually work anymore. The American dream is a phrase, and the idea that the savior from plutocracy is a plutocrat is not class warfare. It's not the same as Donald Trump, and it is actually simply trying to suggest that maybe we can actually trust people who come out of popular movements, people who...
Yeah, there you go. I mean, you get the gist. The idea that they keep bringing Bret Stephens on to make this case that we shouldn't bully the 600 billionaires in this country because what? Like, what is going on?
I thought it was a lot, even for me, when, and I don't know why we cut it out, when the next second Anand started going, is it itchy in here?
The whole bedbug thing.
I feel the presence of something. God, I thought you guys disinfected this place. Bed bugs on the Morning Joe set?
This is what happens when people treat class like it's just another identity. Like, you can be classist. Rich people should be nice to poor people. Poor people should be nice to rich people. We should all just get along, like, you know, people of different races, people of different genders. Guess what? It's different. It is inherently mean to poor people to be a billionaire. It is a zero-sum game in a way that these other things are not.
Without a doubt.